हेलो बच्चों, कैसे हो? आपका स्वागत है त्रिपान स्टडी सेंटर में। आज जो हम करने जा रहे हैं क्लास 10 एनआईएस बोर्ड का जो है सोशल साइंस यानी सामाजिक विज्ञान के जो है चैप्टर नंबर 20 जो काफ़ी महत्वपूर्ण है, जिसमें आज हम करेंगे गवर्नेंस एट द यूनियन लेवल यानी केंद्रीय सतह पर शासन, जो कि काफ़ी महत्वपूर्ण चैप्टर रहेगा हर एक क्लास के बच्चों के लिए, चाहे वो यूपी बोर्ड के बच्चे हों, चाहे बिहार बोर्ड के बच्चे हों, चाहे कहते हैं एनआईएस बोर्ड के बच्चे हों। इवन कि जो बच्चे कॉम्पिटिशन की तैयारी करना चाहते हैं और जो कर रहे हैं उनके लिए भी ये टॉपिक काफ़ी महत्वपूर्ण रहेगा। ठीक है, इसमें आज जो हम विस्तार पूर्वक चर्चा करेंगे गवर्नेंस के ऊपर और देखा जाए तो केंद्र स्तर पर शासन के ऊपर। लेकिन आपको पता है, चैप्टर स्टार्ट करने से पहले एक बात जो मैं सदैव कहता हूँ, जिसको आपको सोचना भी चाहिए, विचार भी करना चाहिए, इवन अमल भी करना चाहिए, तो ये है कि जब भी वीडियो देखिए पूरा देखिए, क्योंकि अधूरा जानकारी सदैव खतरनाक होता है। साथ में एक इंपॉर्टेंट बात ये भी रहता है, अगर आप पहली बार वीडियो देख रहे हो तो लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब करना मत भूलना, क्योंकि दोस्तों लाइक कीजिएगा तो बनाने वाले का मनोबल बढ़ता है, सब्सक्राइब कीजिएगा तो इससे ये होता है कि जब भी मैं कोई वीडियो डालूंगा उसका नोटिफिकेशन आपको समय रहते मिल जाएगा। और देखिए, शेयर का मतलब ये होता है कि आपके थ्रू ना जाने किन बच्चों को हेल्प मिल जाए, ये आप भी नहीं जानोगे, इसलिए जो है आप शेयर जरूर करो। ठीक है, व्हाट्सएप स्टेटस पे भी लगाओ। दोस्तों एनआईएस सेंटर जो है कई मानने में बहुत से बच्चों के लिए हेल्पफुल है, चाहे वो 8th क्लास हो, 9th 10th 11th 12th हो, चाहे वो एनआईएस बोर्ड के बच्चे हों, ठीक है, चाहे बीए एमए के बच्चे हो, सभी क्लासों के लिए कुछ ना कुछ जो है त्रिपान सेंटर में उपलब्ध है। तो इसलिए आपके लिए ज़रूरी है कि आप सब्सक्राइब करके इसको चैनल को जो है सेव कर लो, नहीं तो बाद में अगर रिसर्च करोगे तो शायद आपको ये चैनल प्राप्त ना हो। तो इसलिए सोचना नहीं, विचार नहीं करना है, सब्सक्राइब करके जो है अपने पास सेव करना है। दोस्तों ये तो बात था आपके लिए, लेकिन आप देखते हैं हमारा आज टॉपिक क्या है। Our next topic is the most important here, the Union Parliament. This is the most important topic here, the Union Parliament. Do you recognize their institution in the illustrations given below? Yes, it is a Parliament House. The legislative branch of Union government is called the Parliament that consists of the President and two houses known as the House of the People, Lok Sabha, and the Council of State, Rajya Sabha. There is two houses here, are the people here, House of the People of Lok Sabha, and Council of State here, Rajya Sabha. It is important to appreciate that making their president as a part of parliament is the confinement with the principle and traditional of the parliamentaries from a government. We shall now discuss their composition of power and function of both the House of Parliament. On your screen, there is a most important picture here, Parliament House of India. There is a Parliament House of India on your screen. The next topics arrive here, Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha, or the House of People, is the lower house. The Lok Sabha, the House of the People, is the lower house. It is a people's representative body. The members of the Lok Sabha are directly elected by the people of India. The number of its members cannot be exceeded of 550. Out of this is a 530 are directly elected by the people of the state, and the remaining 20 members are elected from the union territory. All the citizens who are the 18 year of age and above have the right to be voted and elected to the member of Lok Sabha. According to the Constitution, if there is no member of Anglo-Indian community in the Lok Sabha, the president can be nominated two persons of this community as a member. When the elections are announced, each state and territory is divided into the various territory constituencies based on population, and these are known as the parliamentary constituency here. One representative of Lok Sabha is elected from each of the constituencies. The term of Lok Sabha is a 5 year. The term of Lok Sabha is a 5 year. However, it can be dissolved even earlier by the president. During an emergency, its term can be extended for a period of 1 year. And those who want to be a member of Lok Sabha must be a citizen of India, be of at least of 25 years of age, and not hold an office of profit under the central, state and local government. He, she is, should be a poses such as other qualification as may be specified by the law made by the parliament for a time to time. The next year, Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha, the Council of State, is the upper house of parliament. The maximum number of members of this house cannot be exceeded to 50. There is the most important 250 and cannot be exceeded to 250. Out of these, 238 members are represent the state and union territory and 12 are the nominated by the President of India. The nominated members are registered to persons in the field of literature, arts, science, social service. The elected representatives are elected by the state legislative assembly according to the system of proportional representation by the means of single transferable vote. The member of there is a number of members for each state depending on the population of that state. The Rajya Sabha is not subject to the delusions. There is a member of the Rajya Sabha are elected for a 6 year. But there is an agreement according to which one third of member retire every 2 years and new members are elected. The retiring member can be re-elected to be eligible to be a member of Rajya Sabha. A person must be a citizen of India and be at least 30 years of age. And other qualifications are same as those for a members of Lok Sabha. The sessions of parliament are surrounded by the president. There should be not be a gap of more than 6 months between the two sessions. The president that has right to be a prolongs the sessions and the Lok Sabha can be dissolved by their president but not the Rajya Sabha as it is the permanent house of parliament. This is important. And the next year, presiding officer. The Lok Sabha is presided over to the speaker and his absence by the deputy speaker. The members of the Lok Sabha select their speakers and the deputy speaker from among themselves. He maintains order and discipline in the lower house as well as supervise it is a proceeding. He decide who will be speak and for how long. He normally does not be cast has a vote but can be vote in the case of tie. The speaker decided whether a bill is an ordinary or a money bill and his or her decision is a final. Besides, he is a custodian of right and privilege of members. In case of joint sitting of Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, the Speaker of Lok Sabha presides over such meetings. On your screen, the season of the Lok Sabha. There is a most important picture on your screen. Rajya Sabha is a presides over the Vice President of India, who is its ex officio of chairman. The chairman is a vice president is not a member of Rajya Sabha. She is elected by electoral colleges consisting of members of both the House of Parliament. During his or her absence, the House is presided over by the deputy chairman. Like the Speaker of Lok Sabha, the chairman of the Rajya Sabha also does not be normally vote, but in case of tie, she may be exercises their casting of vote here. The next year, function of Parliament. The Parliament is the supreme legislative body. It is a perform function that may be characterized by flow. First of all here, legislative function. There is an important here, legislative function. The parliament is a law-making body. It is legislatives on the subject of mentioned in the union list and the concurrent list by the constitution. If there is a clash between the union government and the state government regarding any concurrent subject, the central law will be a prevails. Beside, if her is any subject not mentioned in any list. Now, as residues, subject is come under the judication of the parliament. An ordinary bill can be introduced in any of two houses. If a bill is passed by the Lok Sabha, it is sent to the Rajya Sabha, which may be passed the same or may be suggested amendment in the bill. If the disagreement between the two houses continually, it has to be resolved in a joint sitting of the two houses. In the joint sitting, Lok Sabha has a upper hand with a 550 member over to Rajya Sabha, which has only a maximum of 250 members. Till date, there has been to only three joining sitting of the both the houses. Once of the bill is passed by the both the houses, it is sent to the president for his her an assent, and with his her assent, it's become a law or an act. That's important here. The next power here, executive function. In a parliamentary system, there is a close relationship between the legislatives and executives. As discussed above, the real executives, the Council of Ministers is collectively responsible to the Lok Sabha, which can dislodges a ministry by passing a non-confidence motions against it. In 1999, Atal Bihari Vajpayee as a government lost the confidence motion in the Lok Sabha and it is resigned. That's the most important example here. However, both the houses of parliament maintain their control over the counseling of minister through the several other ways such as by asking question and supplementary questions here. The first hour of every working day of parliament related to the question hour in which their ministers has to be answered the question arise by the members by discussing and passing motion, calling the attention motion, adjustment motion are ensure motion can be moved and policy of the government can be debated and utilizing. There's an important part here. And the next year, by the expressing lack of confidence, the Lok Sabha can express its lack of confidence in the executive by disapproving their budget or money bill or even on ordinary bill. That is important here. And the next year, financial function. Let's see financial function here. The next year, financial function. The Parliament of India has been entrusted with their performance of important financial function. It is the custodians of the public money. It is control the entire purses of the union government. It is sanitation from the time to time money to the government to be enable it to run the administrations and effective and successful. The parliament may be passed, reduce or reject the demand for a grants are presented to it by their government. No taxes can be collected and no expenditures can be made without the approval of parliament. And there are, however, content limitation of Rajya Sabha. There are first year money bill. Money bill cannot be introduced in the Rajya Sabha. It has no power either to reject or amended a money bill. It can only make a recommendation on the money bill. If the Rajya Sabha, along with the recommendation, if any, does not return it to be Lok Sabha within the 14 days, the bill is deemed to be has been passed by the both the houses. As regard their annual budget, annual function statement, it is represented in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha may only discuss it but can not stop it from becoming law. That is the most important first point here. The next year, judicial function. This is an important part here, judicial function. The parliament is empowered to be prescribe the number of judges of the Supreme Court by law. It is also authorized to be established a common high court for a two or more state as well as the constitution to the high court even the union territory. A chief justice or judge of the Supreme Court of any high court can be removed from his or her office by the president only after an impeachment process both the houses of parliament. That's important judiciary function here. And the next year, mysterious function. That's important here. Mysterious function. The parliament has the power to remove the president and the vice president via a special majority of votes, and this process is called as a impeachment. There is a called impeachment. It has a power to amend in their constitution and contain the part of the constitution can be amended by a simple majority and contain other require two-thirds of majority. Some other part of constitution can be amended with a special majority of parliament and the approval of the legislatures of half of the states. There is the most important power here. And let's come here comparative position of both the house of parliament. Let's see comparative position of the both houses of parliament. The next topic is important competitive position of the both the House of Parliament here. In a parliamentary system, the lower house away play a more important role. According in our country, also the Lok Sabha is more powerful and effective. The flowing points are important for understanding the competitive position of both the houses. First of all here, Lok Sabha is directly elected and the true representative of people of India. Rajya Sabha, on the other hand, is indirectly elected. Moreover, Rajya Sabha is a permanent body, whereas the Lok Sabha is elected for a definite period of 5 years. Its tenure can be increasing and it can be dissolved even earlier than the expire of the term. And the next point here, in case of an ordinary bill, both the houses have a equal powers. But if the difference between the both the houses continues and a joint session is a convened, there is a Lok Sabha and get on upper hand as it is a membership is more than the double of that of Rajya Sabha. In respect of having a control over the constitutional minister, once again, the Lok Sabha is more effective. Rajya Sabha can have some control by the debatings on the policy and programs and utilizing the government. But only the Lok Sabha has the two power to be passed a no confidence motion, which if done, the counseling of minister resign. And the next year, with regard, there is a constitutional amendment, election of the president and the vice president, and impeachment or removal of president, vice president, chief justice, and judge of Supreme Court and High Court. Both the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha have almost similar power. Whereas in the financial matter, the Lok Sabha has an upper hand. Lok Sabha here upper hand, and the only Rajya Sabha that is a create a new all India service and declare a subject in the state list to be a national important. This is the most important point here. Lok Sabha has an upper hand and the Rajya Sabha is a lower hand. There's an important point here. In a view of the above comparisons, Lok Sabha is defined it more powerful than the Rajya Sabha, but it will not be appreciated to be stated that the Rajya Sabha is not only the second chamber but also a second chamber. There is a secondary chamber is important here, and we have seen how important of role or Rajya Sabha also plays, and there are contain a function which only Rajya Sabha can perform. This is an important point here. The next point here, impact of union government on citizen and their daily life. The union government formulate and implement many national level programs and schemes which has on impact upon our quality of life. And this program include many in education and child care, such as the Integrated Child Development Schemes mean ICDS, and providing to the Anglo-Variants for child nutrition and care. Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan means SSA for universalizing elementary education, and the शास्त्रीय माध्यमिक शिक्षा शास्त्रीय माध्यमिक शिक्षा अभियान means RMSA for universalization of secondary education, and some other union government program at the National Rural Health Mission, and total sanitation is campaigns as the MNRGA, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, MNREGA, and Indian Awas Yojana, Indra Awas Yojana, etc. This is the most important for their daily to daily life of citizen on the impact of union government here.